Yep. So haven't had commentary on geopolitics in a while. Interesting developments and like a blockbuster United Nations assembly. Congratulations to President Mahama, President Boko, the President of Namibia, the President of Colombia, for their amazing speeches, especially President Mahama. President Mahama was on fire. I mean, he nailed it, overly nailed it. I mean, the maturity of President Mahama in the second term is unbelievable. President Dumaboko was awesome, like straight to the point, impactful. Um, he stood up for Palestine, just like President of Ghana. Anyway, Ghana and Botswana have to have stronger ties. I mean, there's a lot that can happen between these two countries. Um, the Honorable Foreign Minister, Mr. Kujatua Blakwa, I'm coming to Ghana. I'm gonna try to have a meeting with you on the awesome potential of a relationship. It's deeper, business, cooperative, cultural relationship between Ghana and Botswana. Um, yeah. The flip side is terrible Netanyahu, like the Hitler, worse than Hitler of our time, like is getting um, um, got what he deserved at the UN. People were working out on him, and he had a bunch of what's it called, sycophants or clapping at the nonsense he was spewing, the hate, the evil, the murder, the genocide, right? One man in one country, Israel, is marching the world towards a so-called world war, and which will very likely be a European war that involves extractive colonies. Sudan, Congo, and the rest because of minerals, right? It almost seems inevitable that we may get there at this sort of a global war. Netanyahu and Israel are basically driving the world's most powerful, and most technologically advanced country, the United States of America, who have put in power a, a serious, um, flawed leader, basically. Somebody who's extremely troubled psychologically and basically unfit to be leading the world right now. I mean, will Trump caving into being pushed into war on many fronts? It's looking very likely. I mean, he's encamped by Venezuela, trying to steal their oil. Gaza is also about the resources, offshore oil. It's the world is a big mess. The UN Secretary General is being overly charitable. The UN is not being effective, and it looks like there are no adults in the room. The Security Council is a complete mess. Is outdated. Is obsolete. Massive changes. It looked like they're only going to happen after like a stupid, needless global type war, World War III happening. I mean, personally, I don't think it's necessary for such a stupid war that would destroy so much and kill so many people. over something that is like in abundance. Is it resources and money? There's enough resources for all humans for the next like 10,000 years, for the next 100,000 years. There's enough resources on the world for all humans. There's enough money, which is like fake stuff, fake made up nonsense, either electronic money or real money. There's enough of that for everybody in the world. So there's no need for a world war in any way. Um, yeah, very, very problematic, the direction of the world. I think I'm gonna do a part two of this state of the world. Yeah, kudos to President Mahama. Excellent, excellent um, speech at the UN Assembly um, that just ended. Amazing, amazing stuff. Um, yep. So yeah, part two will come through. Like these are just general thoughts on what is going on in the world. If a war is coming, because yeah, it looks like coalitions are being built, war games are being planned, positioning is happening between two large groups. Africa, we probably on the fence somewhere, but some parts of Africa may be involved. There's a sinister plan for Cape Town, also loading up. Um, we need some adults in the room to bring sanity to the global system. The global system has to be completely overhauled. The global governance systems have to be like the money system, the economic system. Capitalism, as it is basically something like lootism, or I don't even know what to call it, but it's a dead system. Like most of the people around the globe are living terrible lives they shouldn't be living. Um, and also digital or data colonization. There's issues right there that Africa, especially, that needs to like face. Um, yeah, I'm gonna approach some African governments and offer my expertise on like high tech stuff like deep level AI, deep level data science, in forms of partnerships and stuff. Slow bureaucratic officials should facilitate African talent, extreme African experts and talent to help the countries. Most African countries need help, and they're the same people in government are preventing people that can help, and also not providing the resources for folks like me to basically um, bring some serious impact. I mean, why doesn't Africa have a social network, a bunch of its own social, and like China does, like India does, like Russia does? This is common sense. African um, billionaires, millionaires, multi-millionaires, and stuff would have to put up the funds for things like this should be to be worked on. You know. Anyway, I'm rambling. Part two is coming. It's going to be as long as this. Yeah, but just general thoughts on the recent happenings around the world, especially the UN General Assembly. The Secretary General of the UN has to be a bit more assertive and has to show a stronger hand. Yeah. Israel probably has to be kicked out of the UN system also for the mass murder of UN workers in Gaza. Free Palestine.